Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Fisher. Joining me is Jake Small and Tiberian. Please raise your koalas because we're going to Game 5 again. All the games in the
Koala
gauntlet
is dead.
have gone to Game 5. He's all right. He's sitting there in his little tree. He's good. Just like Legacy. Game 5 is fun.
Monster. Who let me cast with this Singaporean? Just chucking my national animal everywhere. But yeah, every game this weekend, Sin has been involved in every single one of them. All of them have gone to 5. And you know what, Fish? They've won every Game 5 so far, so why would they change things now?
They have, and I mean, they've been here before, twice to be precise here. Sin have been able to fight their way through 2 best of 5s, one against Avant-Garde, another one against the Chiefs.
Yep.
And now Legacy, they were looking to try and clean this one up 3-0.
Yeah, exactly right. And Legacy, I mean, they've been in this position before. When they'll Avant-Garde Ascension, that man on your screen captained a squad to reverse sweep the Chiefs. Don't know if it was a reverse sweep, but they managed to clean up the Chiefs. I think they won Game 2, actually, so I'm going to just stop that one. But they did manage to come back in a Game 5 series. And that guy on your screen made a call to just focus the turrets. Don't kill the Nexus in game number 3, which could come back and bite his team in the bum.
I mean, you go and look at that play again. If they locked down Carbon, which they did, Rogue had a snare onto Carbon in that game.
They kill him. Potentially they end the game right there. But you can't dwell in the past. Oof. You have to move forward into Game 5.
They have to. And you know what? We got Dodo, Sin again here spawning. This is what I was talking about. When you go to Game 5, Sin, and they've got the theme song on their side. Except it says no Fido, and I think Sin are all about that Fido. And for now, Legacy, they've picked up Rumble in the top lane because Fizz has been banned out by Sin.
So now Tally gets a chance to play the Rumble.
Ooh. Do they give last pick to Ryoma now and just show hands top lane? No, they don't. They pick up Victor.
So they're actually going to give Claire the opportunity to play the Orianna into a control mage matchup.
And those are some huge comfort picks coming out as well. I mean, FBI back on this Ashe. Ryoma going to the Victor mid lane. And
Ryoma looks mad. I mean, he looks like he's about to step onto Summoner's Rift and hurt some kids.
Ooh, Orianna being picked up by here, Legacy. That's the kryptonite so far for Sin. Difficult for them to deal with.
But still, they're going to have to take Cleanse on it. They're going to have to probably play Varus as their AD carry because otherwise they don't have initiation. And you have to take it here because otherwise you know it's being taken away. Ooh. And it's not going to be.
Trundle gets locked in for Legacy. They said, you guys couldn't deal with this last game. What is this with Lucio and unconventional bottom lane supports?
But it could be a little bit of a split push war in the top lane.
Hello.
Kennen struggles early against Rumble.
This is spicy. Kennen's been locked in.
Yeah, he certainly has. So they're going to take a legitimate 1-4 comp. Some big pick potential, but tankless lineups across the board, apart from potentially Cupcake.
Varus being banned out here by Sin.
I just hope that Rogue plays Vel'Koz.
Oh, that'd be great. Game 5, trying to send them into the finals against Direwolves. Picks up Vel'Koz when everything's on the line. Whew. Couldn't have scripted a better spawn.
I mean, I didn't script it at all. But you see that, as I said, if you don't take your AD carry right there, they ban everything away. So potentially a Lucian game going to have to come out from Lost.
Let's see if he can pull that one off. He's got a Trundle as his support. Could do similar things to what Braum does. Karma's been banned out as well, so Rogue's getting pinched a little, like you mentioned. And Elise is the final ban that comes out from Legacy.
I mean, Lulu's still available if he wants to go towards it.
Yep. Do you take...
Nami is still up.
Does Juves take Lee Sin here and deny Carbon his 5th game of Lee?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that is on the board. I don't think he wants to, though.
Seems like he wants to go back towards Kha'Zix, which has been crucial in their success.
Makes a lot of sense. Has really good chase potential. You can see Rogue is actually there. Looked like he was dozing off, then the eyes snap back straight to being wide awake.
Final pick is for Rogue. I love this from Sin.
They do it every now and again.
So Lost does go back towards a Lucian game. Lucian Trundle seems like a pretty alright lane to be in. When you're up against an Ashe, that pillar just cuts you off from the world.
And 5 games in a row, the captain of Legacy, Carbon, picks up the Lee Sin. And, he flashed it for a second, but it's going to be Nami.
Nami's picked up in the bottom lane here for Rogue to pair up with FBI's Ashe. How does this do against Trundle Lucian, though? Because that is an aggressive bottom lane.
What is Trundle Lucian or Nami Ashe?
Both.
I have no bloody idea how it does, man. I haven't seen Trundle in competitive play for a year.
Ooh, it's going to be a spicy game here. Game number 5, everything's on the line. Already things have been shaken up.
But this time, a lot more mixed damage coming out. You're going to have a Blade of the Ruined King to help cut through Trundle. One of the things about Jin is he doesn't deal with tanks until the very late game well at all.
Yeah.
So I think that they have a better comp to deal with the Trundle. And also, no hard engage to start up a team fight apart from an errant Shockwave that if it gets to the backline, Carbon has to take it there.
They've also got Rhymer on a control mage. As much as he looks like he excels on these assassins, he's had very poor games on assassins every single time they've played one during the gauntlet. Yes, he might pop off like he did on Zed last game or get ahead on Talon. They have not won a game with his assassin yet.
Exactly right. And you know, control mages are in the meta for a reason. They just add so much wave clear, so much utility. And then you saw Claire flash forward in that last fight, and what was FBI was then just, gone. So that's why you play them, because late game, you may as well be an assassin. Because you can absolutely destroy an AD carry. So, agree with the Victor priority here, although leaving up Orianna. I mean, the Death said they could afford to do it, Fish. Can they actually afford to do it? Because they have not looked good against Orianna this whole gauntlet.
They have not. I mean, even Triple was popping off on the champion, destroying FBI when Sin were about to get a 22-minute victory.
Yep.
It shows that they struggle against this champion.
They just lose track of the ball. I think that when you're so one-track minded of going forward, that Orianna ball, it looks like a pebble, and when you step on it, it blows up.
Fair credit to Juice, as well as the rest of the Sin team, though. They've been reacting very well to Shockwaves lately, and they have been able to trump the Claire Orianna a couple of times this time around. But we've done it once, we've done it twice, and we're going to try and do it again here, Spawn. We're going to game number 5, Legacy taking on Sin. The winner of this final match on Summoner's Rift will be taking on the Direwolves next week in the grand finals of the OPL. But for a date with them, you have to win this final match, and already Legacy are grouping up in the bottom lane, trying to show, is there a pillar? Yes, there is. That's an early flash from FBI.
Exactly right. You do not want to die at this stage of the game, but now the level 2 all-in becomes all that more important, Fish, because you have an Ashe without flash. And wow, what a great early start for Legacy. Remember, this is for a spot at MSI. This is for a spot to try and take on the Direwolves, the top team after the regular season. And if someone said top 3 than everyone else, definitely been proven wrong. Because right now, Sin are taking everyone to 5 games.
They certainly are. Even if Legacy are able to pick up a 5th game victory here, Sin, can hold their heads high. They made it all the way, the 3rd place in the OPL. Massive improvement for them. And this is what we were talking about them in their game against Avant-Garde. We said this is a massive improvement even if they lose and become 5th place in the OPL. 3rd place is a massive win for them, but they're not going to be happy if they don't get into the finals at least.
I mean, I think that since we've seen Sin really grow this weekend, anything that isn't winning this game, they were up 2-0 versus the Chiefs. They let it slip, then they pulled it back. They were up 2-0 versus Legacy with an open Nexus. They let it slip. Now they have to pull it back because otherwise, I mean, there's no other way to put it. They definitely will think of what could have been next Sunday. And already Carbon, level 2 cheese gank into the bottom lane.
Yeah, get the heck out of there, FBI. You're about to get ganked, and you've got no flash. Pillar is a hell of CC. Flash early from Carbon. FBI gets tagged up and exhausted. They're trying to use the heal, trying to get him back, but no, Cupcake gets first blood.
Really nice play. I mean, Carbon potentially loses a little bit of tempo on this. He went only 1 buff, straight bottom lane. You can see Juves has gone from red to Gromp.
That's a weird jungle buff. He can't capitalize on anything now.
Yeah, exactly right. He can't
Carbon's a camp behind.
Yeah, can't dip. Oh, and now Rogue being caught out as well.
Getting a lot of damage there. It seems like he was just trying to hold up the wave for Ashe, and FBI gets nothing from his shop as well. This is against a Trundle Lucian. He is not going to do well at all in this game. So they've got to try and pull him back somehow.
Exactly right, and you can see that they're moving into the lane. I mean, if you were Rogue, if you're FBI, you just wanted that lane to push up. You wanted to be able to freeze it right here where it is now and just safely farm, but it was not to be. Lost is going to have a huge shop here.
So FBI and Rogue will try to hold up this wave as long as they possibly can.
One thing I do want to point out of Flares, he's had some really good game 5s, has gone for the greediest pickup I think I've ever seen. Starts with a Cull.
Whoa! Hello. I like picking up Cull and AD cannon, even AP cannon, because you normally start with Doran's Blade. It just kind of makes sense that you get your what's it called, gold back after a while, but he's comfortable, it seems, against the Rumble.
I mean, that's a really risky pickup. So Cull, of course, is good on AD cannon because you build a lot of attack speed, and it gives you life back on hit. So it's not life steal, and it still has a little bit of AD. Of course, then it cashes in, becomes worthwhile of a gold investment, like big time when you get to that 100 stacks. Gives you an extra 1 gold every time you get there, and it gives you the big cash in at the end. But really, right now in the game, if he dies and needs a little bit of extra HP, you can probably blame his first item pickup.
Yep. 80 hit points is what separates the Colin Doran's blade. So if he dies and could have lived with 100 health, it's going to be a disaster. But he seems to be sitting fine and comfortable on the top side of the map. Kennen is a very safe laner. Can play a little bit more aggressively, and he's already trying to against the Rumble. So it's only a 200 gold lead at the moment for Legacy. The big news, or good news story for FBI is that Lost went back to base and just got a longsword.
And the awesome news right now, as FBI might be dead again.
No, you back out. You don't even try to go there. Does Cupcake flash forward? He should. There you go. There's the pillar. FBI has flash up soon. Can he hold out long enough? Everyone's coming in. FBI incredibly low. There is a teleport in the back line. Sin still looking for a fight. Carbon is low. Tally's trying to stipe up Flares. That's a level above for the cannon. Victor's ghosting in. Flares has gone in. Tally's going to get taken down, and they're piling on into the rest of the Legacy members. Oriana making her way into the bottom lane. Sin do trade back 1 for 1.
1 for 1, and it's going to be Ryoma that picks up the kill. Lost gets it on his side. Potentially can stop a couple of backs here, Cupcake, if he wants to. But Flares leaves the lane in a really good spot as well. Bernie's flash to get on top and goes back and gets... Oh, that's a huge shot. Whew. Already has a recurve bow.
Rogue doing the right thing as well. Holds off the minion wave. FBI's going to lose 1 minion here.
Yep.
That's pushing back in. He's 15 CS behind.
Oh, and he stopped the shot coming out of Lost as well. So he's going to get another one into the turret unless Lost just doesn't recall at all.
So FBI here will be able to catch back up.
This is the perfect scenario for FBI. He actually gets a free shop in. If they can make this hit the turret, he can go back straight away and like legitimately like pick up whatever he needs to. Probably will get, he missed a couple of creeps. I was going to say, probably will get close to a Vamp Scepter.
So he's about 500 gold behind Lost, and I'm not counting the minions he just picked up just because Lost will be able to pick up some when this one crashes.
Lane swap coming in again, Fish.
Ah. So FBI will have a fine time laning down here, but now Flair's going to be careful. He's not level 6. Cupcake has shown. No flash available for the Kenemies. He's got to play a little bit safe. Carbon's coming up as well. You've got to back out. Flares is level 6, but he's about to get dove. Level 4 Lee
Has
Sin.
Slicing Maelstrom, however.
Let's see if he goes for it. There's the ultimate. Gets exhausted. That's poor play from Flares.
So the exhaust is absolutely massive. Tally picks up turret aggro. Now all of a sudden they're racing in for that first brick. Do need to be careful. It's going to be a Juves as well as a Nami there to defend, but I really don't think he can defend 2v4 guys.
I'm just really confused. Don't you just back off as soon as you see that Cupcake and Lost are running at you?
Yeah, and give up one wave, and then you can defend 3v5, and all of a sudden your AD carry that was set so far behind has an opportunity to farm, maybe even pick up a turret. Instead, they give up first brick again.
Yeah, and Rumble's trying to get down to the bottom lane. He might be able to stop this from being pushed down.
Oh, 100%. FBI can't kill a creep wave, cannon wave in the time it takes Rumble to get there. So that turret's going to be safe. Flares falls down after a greedy stay.
Big misplay, and he was level 6 as well. If you stay there 3 on 5, Tally's still level 5. You fight that one with a Slicing Maelstrom.
Yep.
Tally's got nowhere to go though. He's just booked at bottom lane, now going top. So if Rumble falls behind here, that might be an avenue of attack for Sin.
Certainly could be, but really he's got an assist. He's 0-1-1, but he's gone defensive as you should in this lane matchup. So I think he's going to be absolutely fine. And that's a big reverse coming off the lane.
Ryoma looking for the kill. Flashes the shockwave. Claire almost dies there. He's forced to flash himself, still holding on to heal. What a big clutch play.
Ryoma stepping up and wants to pop off. You can see that right now, Blue Buff going to respawn. The call is, do we take it? Because there's going to be a lot of pressure coming into the bottom lane. Jubes is camping a brush right now.
He's going to be able to pick up the CS that's just left there. FBI's like, please don't touch my wave. Those are still fine. It's pushing on the top side of the map. Lee Sin shows himself here. That's bottom lane priority completely gone. Flair's teleport's coming up soon, so is Tally's, but as much as Equalizer is a big ultimate to have, Slicing Maelstrom teleports are devastating.
Yeah, but you're not really looking for the engage with Slicing Maelstrom on AD cannon. It's more used for if people rush onto you, then you can use it for self-peel. So I think that Equalizer at this stage of the game packs a little bit more punch.
So, second stock of CS, Ryoma, even though he's a hill up, is 10 CS behind Claire at the moment. Bottom lane has
picked that up at turret.
Bottom lane has equalized as well. But Lost is still sitting on that Berserker Greaves, and he's a great Lucian player. Synergizes really well with Cupcake, and very similar champion to Braum-ish. Has a lot of slows, ways to lock people down.
Yep.
More importantly, something that's overlooked a lot is Trundle's Q does steal the damage from his opposition, knowing good trades for Lucian.
Yep. Takes away AD. That's why he's so potent in top lane matchups.
And speaking of top lane, Cannon's just going to continue pushing in. It's hard for Rumble to farm underneath his turret. The Harpoon charges have helped him a lot, which was the recent buff to him. But you can see just under 30 CS is currently the lead that Flares has. He's about a level up as well.
And he's about to cash in Cull as well. 28 CS off, so going to be there in absolutely no time. Next 3 minutes we'll be able to pick that one up, which is going to be a huge power spike for him because he'll be able to go back. He's going to be able to pick up his boar. And really, even though it's 2,000 gold right now, an arrow play into a teleport is still going to be able to get you a couple of kills as well as that bottom lane turret.
But look at the wards from Legacy throughout the bottom lane river. There's nothing that's pushed past the jungle of Sin. They're blind at the moment. They have Kha'Zix top side of the map.
Oh, Flares took a lot of damage there. Took a turret shot.
If Flares isn't careful, Tally will drop Equalizer on this wave and try and fight him.
Yeah, exactly right. You can see that Tally's actually looking out for Juve. So all the pressure that's on the bottom side of the map, Tally's kind of feeling on the top side of the map in this game 5. Knows that Juve likes to get up here and help out his top laner, and they've just backed so far away.
They're not even going to try and attempt to defend this one, and for no reason, because no one from the side of Legacy are down here. FBI kind of spots this out, returns, so making the safe play.
I mean, he just didn't have Juves anywhere near his side of the map, and they hadn't seen Carbon in so long whilst controlling top side that they knew something must be amiss. Carbon now looking for a blue buff steal or a cheeky kill.
Well, gets popped down there. Good use of the blast cone, gets him back to safety. FBI still struggling in this lane. 2,000 gold, Legacy's lead, which is quite a big lead to have 11 minutes in.
Especially given 1,200 of it is on the 80 carry.
But again, 1,000's on Cupcake. Here's the gold goblin. Cupcake stealing it from the rest of his team. But to be fair, having it on Trundle
isn't bad.
Yeah, it gives you a very tanky front line.
I was about to say, especially given the fact that he's going to be the only real tank for a portion of this game.
Juves is waiting in the wings, and he kind of has to because FBI is just a sitting duck in this lane. Equal in levels, about 7 CS behind, so that's too bad. Tally's taking a bit of a beating top side of the map. One more wave and Cole's cashed in.
Yeah, exactly right. So you have to think that Flares, who's already up 600 gold, is going to probably get back close to 1,000. Also the fact that he's maybe going to be able to take the turret here if there isn't a teleport play to be made on the bottom side of the map.
So we've seen a couple of Legacy games go late against Sin. Who wins this late game? I
mean, I have absolutely no idea because it really depends how far ahead the Cannon is. He's 30 CS up at the moment, but no one can really rival split push Cannon. And you can see Tally is just sacked that side of the wave. He's actually going to lose his top lane turret. Flares can recall right now. Look how much gold he has, 2,700.
He's got to go back to base though. If not, this play coming out from Legacy is going to brute force bottom lane and Cannon cannot respond.
Juves was already back, so there's no way that they can respond anyway. So that's not even on the Cannon.
They trade a turret for a turret and keep their gold lead, which is a good play.
They're getting, so this is about trading sides of the map. You're getting Flares ahead. On the other side of the map, you're getting Lost ahead. Lost is a 500 range 80 carry at the best of times that is going to be playing into Victor, who builds Lichbane and can actually just one-shot you off the map. Whereas Flares, probably never going to be fighting anyone. He's just going to be looking to split push the side lanes and continue to exert really obnoxious pressure by picking up, like, if they go towards Rift Herald right now, like, it even gets worse.
Carbon's looking to try and take down an elemental Dragonfly himself, but look at Juves. He's just like top side of the map's where I'm meant to be.
This is my home now.
I am the top laner too. We're back to no jungle meta. Since Chaos Storm was used mid lane by Aroma, he ghosts as well.
Yeah. So
Shockwave was used by
player, yep.
So a cheeky Mountain Dragon pick by Carbon gives his team an objective.
Also really big, given the fact that Baron will become contentious at some point in this game, I'm sure. It's been a huge vocal point this series. And they've got the Blade of the Ruined King user on Lucian already.
Yep, Ash has picked up her, so she's Berserker Greaves behind Lost. So that's only going to come into play if she needs to kite. If Ash can't kite effectively, that Berserker Grease would have costed her a lot. Arrow's available, and Claire does not have Cleanse this game. So mid lane's got to be careful. You can see FBI just sitting pretty mid lane.
But they really are just trying to hold.
There it is.
They actually fire.
They nail Claire as well into the gravity field. That's a dead mid lane, and a tidal wave thrown out for good measure.
That's actually a super risky play because even though they pick it up onto Claire, he had Flash still available. And if they miss that, they cannot threaten against... Ooh, here we go.
Tally being dove. Flares wants him. Good equalizer. Flares will pick up the kill. Does he get out alive? He does for now. And now Legacy actually have to collapse on towards the hamster. Can he execute? It's been about 5 seconds. You need 7. Or is he just going to book it? Get out of there, Clares. He gets out alive.
So
what a
he's
hamster.
able to bait them in. He was just waiting for the creep wave. He has a slight chuckle to himself, but one more time. This is why they brought him over from North America, Fish. I feel like I say it every game 5, but Flares is stepping up for Sin.
Get out of my lane, he shouts as he takes down Tally, avoids the Cupcake, avoids Carbon. Look at the Goldie now, 700 only in Legacy's favor.
And you have to think that that's just swapped on the side of the map. Sure, lost 2 kills, is up 11 CS, but Flares cashes in a cull, has now picked up him solo kill underneath the turret. And he's moving his way towards a Phantom Dancer as well.
As much as lost, 500 range, 80 carry.
Actually, it might be a Hurricane.
Potentially. Who knows?
I have an obsession with Phantom Dancer at the moment, so I just say it all the time. But probably going to be Hurricane.
So you were mentioning, lost on Lucian, 500 range, 80 carry, who dashes in and he's up against everything that likes to shut him down in that range.
And the other thing about Flares is he's picked up solo turret golden experience on top lane. Now he's going to go into bottom lane, and it's like 200 health away from death. So he's probably going to knock that one down as well, which means that he's just going to keep getting further and further ahead of Tally in terms of all this gold, all this experience. And now you can see Legacy, they have an idea. They're going to try and shut him down.
He's got too many wards, so great wards placed down by Sin are able to spot out this roaming gang squad. And look at FBI, he's like, all right, I like top lane CS. This is what it feels like to be Flares. I'm okay with this. Sin, though, going to get jumped on. Good jump away coming out from Juves, but he does lose Blue buff. Taken away by the rest of Legacy.
Yeah, really, the person that gets hurt the most from that is going to be Ryoma.
Damn it.
He is 10 CS up, as well as having a perfect head core, going towards what looks to be Luden's Echo. Also grabs a cheeky Dark Seal, which I really respect. If there's a game where you're going to get like 4 kills in a team fight, maybe 3 and a couple of assists, and then really explode the mid game, it's probably going to be this one. Ryoma wants to be very well prepared for when that happens, Fish.
FBI is pushing this wave top side of the map. Will be collected by Lost nice and easy. And one of the points I was trying to make is you see Lost is building towards Black Cleave already. This, can't talk about it because Ryoma's getting jumped on mid lane. Claire going to take a lot of damage. Flash from Carbon misses. Now he's the target. They're trying to collapse on towards the jungler. Juves jumps in. He gets kicked back but gets the kill immediately. And they counter the gank mid lane.
Really nicely played. You can see the Ash Arrow was also flying across, trying to pick up Claire.
Almost hit Tally on its way as well.
Yeah, instead it's just going to be Flares. Still like a dog with a bone, sitting in the bottom lanes. Keep split pushing, baby.
Love me some turrets, says Flares, as he continues to harass Tally. He's got a Zonya's first item. Didn't even pick up Ninja Tabby. You kind of need those against a cannon. This turret's going to fall nice and easy. The rest of Legacy will try to collapse, though.
Yeah, exactly right. So you see Flares. He's actually not in any rush. He says that
patient.
turret's going to be there the whole game.
Patient man,
You
Flares.
cannot deny it from me. You have to defend mid lane. Top lane's slowly pushing in your favor. I know that you can't stick around here forever. So very well played by the veteran top laner.
You look a little bit frustrated right now, Legacy. They're ahead. They've got a lead. They could win fights, but it's just Sin getting the jump, and this is dangerous.
Certainly is,
Tally's
because
gonna be
you
careful.
know that people are going to come down here.
Oriana is coming. Flare's going in. He wants to get it nice and early. Gets the stun flash in from Juves. Good Zonyas. Claire looking for an ultimate. Will Tally get out alive? He does. Shockwave comes out into the equalizer. Juves is low. Tries to stand and deliver, but even Karma's down here and nails Flares. Will get a shield as well. Big play from Legacy.
And a double kill picked up for Claire. All of a sudden, the Oriana is starting to come online, and flashback for Sin. They do not like this champion in the Gauntlet at the moment, and they successfully defend mid lane as well.
Cupcake and Lost able to use the pillar as well as the culling to deny Sin from pushing down the mid lane. Bottom lane's in trouble now, though, as the rest of Legacy are looking to try to take that one for themselves. Cupcake gets pushed out of the lane, but That's going to be a turret being picked up by Legacy.
So here's Arrow into Cupcake. Not the right target.
FBI still looking for it. He's cutting him down. Gets so much damage down. Subjugate and Exhaust to keep him alive. Chaos Storm not going to be able to pick up the kill because Cupcake flushes out of it.
Really nice play there by Cupcake. Uses only summoner spells when he has to. Continues to bait them in. And you can see that they don't even get mid lane priority for it. So a turret picked up for Legacy as well as a couple of kills. They still continue to defend.
That was so aggressive from Sin, though. Trying to go in and engage there after their members got taken down. FBI chipping away at this turret. Lost is going to try and dash on in. The scary thing now for Legacy is, yes, they've got a 2.5k lead, but outer turrets mid and bottom are next to death.
Yeah, I mean, so the gold lead is really minimal. But the big news is Claire going towards that side lane. Now he's equalized. He's going towards Luden's Echo. We've got, once again, a tankless squad. So all the things I was saying about Ryoma, you know, we can blow someone up. Now take that and put that onto an Orianna, who we've already seen FBI, Ryoma, fail to play against in the mid to late game. And Claire is huge.
He is 2-1-0. They need the rookie to step up this game, and he's definitely trying his hardest to do so. Tally, the vice captain, the brick for Legacy, not having a great performance up against Flair's split-pushing monster of a cannon. I
mean, he's doing what he needs to do, though. He's not seeding turrets. He died once solo. And apart from that, has had a pretty decent game. And late game, the equalizer is still the equalizer. He's still going to be able to shut Cannon out of a lot of fights. And one more time, this isn't a team fighting pick for Flares.
That pillar is disgusting from Cupcake.
This is split pushing only, and AD Cannon, I mean, unless you start going things like Infinity Edge, isn't always the best late game champion.
We've seen some things you can do with the champion. Flares put on a show against Swiper, getting a double kill bottom lane. And he is ahead. You see Cupcake being aggressive already. As soon as he puts down that frozen domain, you've got to get the heck out of there because the pillar's coming shortly.
They want mid lane turret. They know that there's only 3 members there because Flares is in the bottom lane. He's going to have to actually maybe even teleport away.
Ooh, this is risky.
Keeps going for it.
They haven't spotted him out. He does get the ward. Does he now try to execute because Tally's chasing?
I mean, he actually teleports back to mid lane. So burns the TP. Does he just run top?
Do they go top? Do they go Baron? Because Carber's on Dragon.
No, I think you have to go top. I think that the gold is way more important at this stage of the game and less risky. So all of a sudden, you got an Ashe, you got a Cannon. They're going to be pushing into the lane, and no one is there to respond.
So Carbon takes down an Ocean Dragon for his team. This turret, top side of the map, the inner turret top lane is going to be taken down. Orianna tries to defend, but can't.
Teleport coming in out of Tally. They want to fight.
But they turn. They're going for Cupcake first. Flares is in. Lost is meant to dash out, but they're going on top of the Lucian. Equalizing in a great squad. They're looking for a shockwave. FBI back against the wall. Not enough. He gets taken down. Jubes is looking to assassinate anyone he can get his hands on. Shockwave gets cancelled. 3-on-2 in the pit. Covered with the kick. Gets 1 kill. Tally's dead. Only the captain left alive. Ryoma, can he get another quadra? It doesn't matter. Sin, they get an ace.
And at 21 minutes into the game, Sin equalized the gold lead off a fantastic macro play.
No way.
They're not done. They want the Baron.
This is a 3-man Baron. No jungler. Rogue's taking this one up. Can they do this, Spawn?
It actually looks like they can't. Flares is going to have to get in there sooner rather than later. Ryoma has his shield. They have a little bit of healing.
Oh, they're trying. Rogue's going to die. He dies to Baron.
I mean, they have to get out. They can't do it. That's a horrible call.
Oh, goodness. It goes down to 3,000 health. And Sin don't get the Baron. That was a free mid lane turret to take.
Exactly right. The gold could have been even further in their favor. But let's not dwell on that. Let's look at the great team fighting. They collapse onto Cupcake, and they actually burn through him, which is the most important thing. And then Ryoma just takes over. Repetitively able to get out. Multiple spell rotations. Target prioritization is absolutely fantastic as he cleans up Claire. And really, this is like captain versus captain of that stage. Jubes is in the front line. He's yelling at his team. Carbon refuses to go down without a fight. Being able to pick up Jubes definitely saved the Baron. But now Legacy, they're still 2,000 gold up because did they kill Ryoma? Looks like they did.
Ryoma did get taken down there, so Legacy get a pick back. And now they're going to take mid lane outer as well. Flares is still split pushing. Has some time to try and take inner turret. And if Sin can get the bounce here, might be able to take down outer themselves.
So we'll see whether that is actually going to be the call, because that is a massive gamble fish.
They collapse.
Instead, he just goes back, and this is Ryoma backing on a ward.
We've said this about Jews already. Don't do that. Oh, exhaust as well. Lost flashes in.
So that's actually a lot expended to take him down. Big shutdown.
Shutdown.
Certainly worth it.
Important.
But just wanted to point out the fact that Lost now no longer going to have the flash if there's a team fight in the next couple of minutes. And no exhaust means that, you know, someone like Flair, someone like Ryoma, if they get out a big ultimate, going to be able to take out over the team fight. Ooh, Ryoma's in behind Tally.
Oh, Ryoma looking for a kill here. Equalizer gets used. Poor spot. Ryoma stands in it for so long, though. Gravity Field gets Zonya's, and here comes the captain! Throws out the W, misses, and they both flash forward to get a kill.
Exactly right. So they wanted to pick that one up. Tally overextended. Ooh!
Carbon, big kick, knocks Flair sideways though, not the way he wanted it to go, and the Culling gonna hit the tip. Carbon stunned up as well by the arrow. To add insult to injury, that might be bottom lane turret falling. Flair's skirting with Deja.
Shockwave!
Hits two, they're dead. Sin lose their mid lane players.
And that is going to be Baron for Legacy. Flares turns around an arrogant play and gets absolutely punished by Claire. Ooh, this game is so intense, Fish.
And that's where the call should be, just get the heck out of there. I mean, goodness sake, you just survived a flash kick. Jump out, live to fight another day, let your bottom lane take the turret.
Exactly right. I mean, Flares is still split pushing. There's absolutely no response for him at the moment. Sorry, it was Ryoma still split pushing. There's no response for it at the moment. There's no reason for Flares to go back in. And whoa, that has cost Sin massively.
It has, and if it was Flair split pushing, at least you can go, you know what? If his teleport's up, great. We can still try and take them on 3-on-5 underneath a Baron. Fine, it's still early enough to try and contest that. But now Ryoma's not getting there in time.
No, no way.
It's legitimate 2-on-5 to try and stop Baron. This should be Legacy's Baron easy.
Yeah. And there is a lot of wave clear. I mean, you're still going to have double Hurricane users. You're still going to have a Victor that can just sit underneath turrets and chip it away. But it just drags this game on for a little bit more. And you have to... If you're Carbon, you've been here before. You're all fired up right now. I'm sure Juice is too, but you can see a little bit of frustration. Maybe the edges of doubt. Is this third time's a charm? Does this actually knock us out? Whereas that man on your screen, whoa, he's been screaming. He's in the room behind us. It's soundproof. Doesn't seem like it.
No, it does not. And again, the bane of Sin's existence, that Orianna.
Orianna. Whew.
What a shockwave.
Yeah.
That looked like it was going to whiff. Hits them on the edge. Whew.
And as Shockwave does, if it hits on the edge, drags you straight back into the middle. You see the huge dissonance that follows. And yeah, Claire is having a game. I mean, who do you give MVP to? This is impossible.
It's difficult.
I mean, Rogue's had some good games. Claire's had some fantastic games. Flares has stepped up. Tally now is responding in kind. Carbon
had a captain's game. He's having a great game again.
You have to look at Carbon potentially. His Lee Sin, he just returns to it time and time again.
In fact, I think it's the player on your screen right now that deserves it the most. FBI's been an immovable turret.
Didn't have a great Jhin game.
Did not. I think that's a little bit more the champion, though.
He picked it.
Did he? Or did Bensel pick it?
I mean, I'm sure they have some say. But yeah, this game, this series, and you see Ryoma, that's what someone that's played 15 hours of back-to-back League of Legends in 3 days looks like.
Oh, and you're this close, and at the same time, you know now. Damn, Legacy about to get a Baron. I'm stuck here bottom. What the heck's going on?
I mean, you try and push the turret. You try and get it in a good position, then you hard reset, you get your maximum shops in, and then you just batten down the hatches and survive for the 3 minutes.
But isn't this lights out for Legacy, for Sin? If they get a Baron here this early, on top of that, they got 2 picks already. They already had 2,000 gold.
I mean, maximum you give up is 2 out of turrets. You don't feel like, with their composition, they can actually get an inhib, because there's no way they dive at this stage of the game.
So that's still, like, with the Baron and with the 2 picks, that's 5,000 gold up. Just 30 minutes in. Whew. Difficult lead to fight against.
It certainly is. And I mean, we already said it. I mean, it's a genuine 1-4 comp. AD Cannon, especially when he's building Wit's End, doesn't do much but split push the whole game. Whereas you've got a Rumble, you've got Lee Sin, you've got the Shockwave that can come out. The team fight that's coming out of Legacy at the moment is certainly stronger. So I still feel like, regardless of gold lead, we're just going to have a clash of styles.
This man on your screen here, Rogue, picking up Nami. He has been a standout player for Sin because you look at the champions he played. Zyra, Thresh. Thresh is permanently banned against him.
Yep.
5 games by Avant-Garde, 5 games by Legacy, and 4 games by the Chiefs. They knew after game 1, they're like, yeah, this is why the other teams are banning out Thresh. There's a reason. he's been put onto Nami here. Still looks all right, but just doesn't have the playmaking potential he possibly needed.
Yeah, exactly right. Nah. Poor Nami is one of those champions that, even though not a high playmaker, that one clutch battle, that one good tidal wave can still save you the game. Okay. And a lot of anti-dive potential. I just want to go back to it. There's no way, like, you've got, your tankiest member is, at the moment is a Lee Sin. There's no way you're going underneath the turret if you're Legacy. So you're just looking to take the outers, continue the gold lead. I mean, potentially run a couple of pillars around and look for a big shockwave, as Ryoma was able to hit against Legacy. But yeah.
Oh, losses 4-1 and 3 on Lucian. Difficult. As much as they have a lot of close range CC and damage, you're still against losses Lucian, not Lee Sin. This has been banned against him sometimes.
Yeah, it has, but I just want to reiterate the fact that if Lucian dash forwards in a late game team fight, Victor just goes and then he dies.
Is that what he does?
Yeah. You just wave his hand. He's a magician with a metal claw on his shoulder. What do you want from me, mate? I don't know what else to say.
Trying to show him what the glorious evolution is, but we are back into this game. Now, let's take stock of things. Roman's getting this turret, but look at Legacy. They're going to start another pause. Exciting.
I mean, we just wanted to see the turret go down. It was an inevitability, really. We get our elevator music back. This is great. I love the addition of the pause music.
We're on about 360 right now. Just going up.
Just going up?
This is like my trip to that Westfield dining place. You're just waiting there. It never
I
ends.
have no idea. I love when you say you know to a story I have not been a part of.
That's right. Heights don't do you too well.
They do not do me well. I hate heights.
But yeah, so unfortunately we're still in a pause here between Legacy and Sin. And hopefully be able to get back into the game shortly.
I mean, everyone wants to get back into this game. Because really, it's coming down to the wire. 30 minutes in, Game 5. Sin have pulled, like, they've stolen so many series.
I just want to blame Benji here. I mean, 3 days of Game 5, he just doesn't want it to end yet. After this, it's done. He's got to go home. Ryoma looking a little bit shaken.
I mean, I think at the moment you're just trying to chill out. You're just trying to take that big, deep breath. You realize you've still got at least 5 to 7 minutes of League of Legends to play. You don't want to be sitting there at your keyboard shaking like a maniac, as I would be. In fact, I'm sitting here casting shaking.
Whereas Legacy, right now, you must think the tables have turned. They were anxious going to Game 3. That was on a knife's edge. They almost lost. In fact, they could have if Sin made the right calls. And now they're sitting very, very comfortably.
I mean, if they pick up this Baron, you say they're sitting pretty, but I've seen some ridiculous Baron steals in my time. So you can never count it out. It was top laner and 80 carry that went down, I believe. So Juves, if he puts on the Usain Bolt sprinting shoes and just gets over there, hops a wall, picks up a Baron, easy as you like. There you go. If, yeah, of course.
Legacy have gotten, what, 1 Baron? So that the odds are in Juve's favor. There is potential.
But I mean, and look at what the Gauntlet's produced so far.
Oh, I mean, all 3 games going to a best of 5. Now I'm excited to see what the finals are going to look like as well.
Yeah, Direwolves have to be sitting there thinking, this season is definitely ours. They've taken out the Chiefs. They've bloodied Legacy. Sin, like, bruised, battered, and 15 games in with drafts, like, unique drafts coming out of everywhere. Direwolves have had to show nothing. They're just sitting at home laughing. They had an extra week of scrims. Chilling out in Piermont somewhere. And you can see we're back into game finally. Juice, is he going to go for the steal or do they just try and pick it up?
They push mid lane, so they're going to trade Baron for mid lane out of here. 2,000 gold lead for Legacy until 28 minutes in this game. They're going to have Baron buff to work with. And the timer is now ticking for Sin. Yes, they pulled back the gold lead slightly, but Legacy, the onus is on them to push down top lane and mid lane inner turrets.
But I still think that this isn't the end of the world for Sin. Because it's like, what, 1,700 gold. You've got a very fed... You've got a very fed Victor coming out. And I think that they can wave clear through this. I think they still have the better split pusher. And I would be really shocked. As I said, if the base is breached off this Baron, I would be very shocked.
Ooh. This is an interesting game.
Oh, they've sent Tally up top lane. Not Tally, Claire up top lane.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Can Flares take him on?
I don't think he wants to. I think instead he just wants to frustrate him.
But look at the cutoff.
Yeah.
You can see the rest of the Legacy members are trying to cut off flares. So good choice not to try anything silly.
But you can see already a third of the way through that Baron buff, and they haven't got close to a turret.
2 more minutes. That's what Sin need to try and do here. In fact, if Claire's top side of the map, 4 on 5 is juicy. That's Orianna gone. I mean, that alone is like a 20k gold lead if Sin get that champion off the map. But now Legacy will push on in, slowly get damage on these turrets. Lost tanking up the turret shots here. Locket forced to be used by Legacy.
And you can see this is what Victor does in late game situations. He just sits there underneath the turret and he wave clears like a madman. They've also got the spikes that come out of Juves. They've got the Hurricane on Ashe.
So first turret is going to fall and Legacy have a big minion wave bottom. Flares is booking it top lane. Trying to force someone back here, making life easier a bit.
He's forced all of them back.
That's great.
That's one turret only.
Now Flares is like, nah, get out of here. And the ping comes out from Legacy. They make a smart choice. They're like, all right, we got one in a turret. Let's get the last one, increase this goal lead a little bit.
And now, if you're Sin, all you do is you just swap Flare's positioning on the map. You send him bottom, you make him take the dragon on the way there. You set up your defense on the top lane because it's a telegraph move. You know exactly where this is going.
Legacy have got 40 seconds to work with. I don't think they can even take this turret if Rome is positioned top lane. Because that minion wave has to push in for Baron buff to work, and it's not going to be Baroned up by the time it gets there. So Legacy call it off.
Yeah, exactly right. So you can see Flare's actually just going to work. Doesn't even stop for the dragon. Instead, he just wants all the creep waves. Waiting for them to appear before he shows himself. At least Legacy have got 2-ish waves pushing. Mid lane will push because they cut it off.
Baron is expiring. So they will have a slight moment with this Baron buff wave, and that's going to be able to take down the turret. So Legacy stick to the plan, and they get it nice and easy. All the outer turrets are gone. That gives them a 4,000 gold lead to kick these off. Flare's in the base, though. Legacy going to have to be careful. Yeah, because Arrow can engage here.
Honestly, I think that
do they go?
Sin stuck to the plan as well.
Do they arrow here? Because Lost is backing up. They know that the Rumble is gone. No deep teleport wards, though, for Flares to get into. And Sin just accept losing the outer turrets and let Legacy go.
And this is a discipline that we haven't really seen from Sin in the past. Potentially Flare's going to be caught on a dragon here, although if Carbon comes alone, there is a Victor in the wings as well.
Rima is here. Carbon's got to be very careful. He can get burst down. He can also still
give it up one more time. Like, it's just not worth it at this stage of the game to give up your life for a dragon that's level 16 accomplished on an AD cannon, so not really all that much of a big deal. Instead, they're just going to send him back bottom lane. This is where it's going to be won or lost. Tally needs to be able to get into the team fight, or Claire needs a huge shockwave. And Flares just needs to continue to chip away.
Let's see if he can do just that. One outer turret's left standing for Legacy. They're still sitting on a comfortable 3.5k lead 30 minutes into the game. That lead is slowly shortening as items get picked up across the board. I mean, Victor's 5-1-3. He's got 3 items picked up. Ashe is caught back up. She is, however, an item behind Lucian, which is the goalie that separates the two teams right now.
Exactly right.
It's massive, but if Lucian gets popped at the start of the fight, it means absolutely nothing.
And the other thing is that Ashe just has the utility. She has the arrow, big anti-dive threat, has
slows
Hurricane, slows.
Roma, what are you doing?
Just drawing pretty shapes.
Yeah, casual lasers over FBI. Just shows up. This is the line you do not cross. You flash over this, you die. This Lost will pick up red buff for himself as well. Ardent Sensor's been picked up by Cupcake.
How does that even work?
Lock it. That's the only way you can pop it, but I guess I can.
I mean, technically it goes across everyone.
I mean, it's
that is a weird pickup.
Knight's Vow.
Knight's Vow would have been huge here for Lost
Bloody
because
redemption.
you know he's going to be in range of being blown up.
Like, Knight's Vow makes the most sense right now for Lucian. You get 12% damage reduction. You heal your Trundle back up, and he's giving you Bond of Stone as well. Bloody hell. Ardent Sensor.
Bizarro. But you can see right now that Flares is waiting in a sideline, waiting for them to show mid. And now he's going to go back to split pushing. What does Tally do?
I think at this point, do Legacy trying to force a fight?
I mean, they have to try.
And we've talked about on the desk, Rogue's vision control is great. There they go, going for Juves. There's the pillar, he hops away. Easy disengage from Sin. And as the desk has mentioned, Rogue's vision control is great. He's already got 2 pink wards in his inventory. Flares has taken blue buff away.
He's
Players
going
not
Frozen
gonna
Mallet as well next.
Oof.
So they actually disengaged. They wanted to pick up the blue, but they're not going to be able to get it.
And if they keep doing this, yes, Flares is not going to be able to get towards the turret because the final inner turret is mid lane, which is where Legacy are going to try and group up. But once they see someone go back to base, that's an Ash arrow into a fight.
Yeah, potentially. So they're trying to catch someone in rotation, as you said. That's how a pick comp generally works. But at the same time, Legacy have a genuine 5v5 team comp. And with no waves near the base and Baron coming up in 30 seconds, they can force Sin to come play on their terms.
Baron in 30 seconds. Do Sin position aggressively for it. Flares is still pushing bottom lane. This will draw Tally down at least. And there's always a potential for a 1v1 to take place between the Rumble and the Cannon. Cannon looks like he's going to be able to win those ones.
I don't think he actually goes down. It's 10 seconds. The creep wave's going to be very close to getting there. But if you are able to win a team fight and get the Baron 31 minutes into the game, you win the series. Tally is not going anywhere.
This is where Legacy force Baron, force the teleport and say, you have to try something, Sin. They're on it. Baron is getting melted, already at a half health. Do Sin get position they want? Rogue looking for a tidal wave. It's out. Teleports in. Big Chaos Storm coming out there. Everyone from Legacy taking so much damage, but Juice looking for the smite. He gets it. Sin steal the Baron. Juice gets out alive, and Carmen is dead as well.
I cannot believe it. Juice has jumped into the pit and outsmited Carbon.
Bottom lane.
And with that, his whole team is streaming towards the base.
Bottom lane is being pushed aggressively by minions. Sin will take mid lane in a turret. This is gonna fall. What a fight from Sin.
And they just duck in. No big old, I mean, the shockwave wasn't burnt. Oh.
It was over the ball by Ryoma. Big gravity field, ultimate as well, and Juice just sat there.
And now who stops Flares? I mean, he's an absolute menace.
Shockwave is available for Claire. He can try and pull off something cheeky, but this is an inhibitor that's going to fall. Claire stepping in aggressively, throws out command attack. But look at mid lane. Sin take that one down. Ryoma being so aggressive, stopping Lost from getting anywhere close to his back line. Cupcake's going to try. Carbon is up. There is the wall, but it's not going to do much, and Flares gets an inhibitor.
And all of a sudden, you've broken the bottom side of the map. You have Baron still for such a long time. You recall, and you set up the 1-4 again. Huge play out of Flares being able to teleport in and extend this pressure for so long. But also, you just got to take a bow if you're Juice. He jumps into the pit and just steals a season away from Legacy, potentially.
My goodness, they're now with the gold lead in this game. Tally is forced to deal with super minions in a bit as well. On top of that, if you're watching the player cameras there, as soon as Baron left and Carbon died, he had his hands on his head. He was just shocked. What a play. And Rogue with a big tidal wave as well. We talk about how this guy stepped up. You said one big tidal wave from him secures a game for Sin. He did just that inside the Baron pit. Now we've got Ryoma and FBI pushing top side of the map. The last inhibitor turret that's left standing is in the top lane. Inhibitor mid is open, but difficult to push for Sin. He's still going to try. Juice cutting inside of the blue side of the jungle. The rest of Legacy, you can see them skirting around their base, looking to try and defend against Sin. Flares teleport halfway off cooldown. Tally still has his teleport, so there is that slight advantage for Legacy, but he's not a tank. He's a Rumble, but they're going in. Carbon looking for Juice, does not connect the Sonic Wave. Ryoma is standing on top of a Shockwave, flashes into Redemption. Lost is on top of him. Ryoma gets shut down by Tally. Carbon is in trouble. Shockwave flashed by FBI. Is there going to be a cannon coming in? No, he's not. He's in the base. He just took down one inhibitor all by himself, and Claire's caught. Do they go for it? Juice is jumping in, but Flares wants to end the game. Juice is being taken down. Is Lost going to dash forward? FBI's in trouble. Tries to take him on, but he can't. And now it's going to be Rogue that gets taken down as well. The base is being battered by this cannon. He's killed Tally. What the heck is going on?
Flares is a monster at the moment and is escorting a huge creep wave into the base. He's still not done. He wants the last turret.
Oh, he's trying to end this game all by himself. 1 on 5? Can Flares actually do this? He's got the base turrets. What the heck?
And Flare's able to get in there. He pushes the second inhibitor, gets both Nexus turrets, and then is able to get out with his life. Sin fought the 4v5 to buy him the time he needed, and he might even be able to pick up an Infernal Drake on the way out, if you don't mind, Fish.
Oh my god, it's on a knife's edge again. Gold is completely even. If he gets this Infernal Dragon, Dragon's going to be tied up as well. Baron Buff's going to expire, and we're going to reset the map again, Spawn.
I mean, is the map really reset? The Nexus is open. But at the same time, and I say this about split push comps all the time, let's take another look at the fight. So that's straight away the shutdown. Great flash out of FBI, but that will be crucial towards the latter end of this fight because as you can see, Claire's just got so much damage. They think they've tied him up, but non-committal out of everyone.
Split decision.
Yeah, and then FBI, just no flash, gets dove on by Lost and absolutely destroyed, of course. Rogue after that has nowhere to go.
Such an aggressive play from Lost as well. He dived into a victor and lived to tell the tale.
Yep.
That crucial first kill changed that team fight for Legacy.
Definitely agree. I mean, you need the Void Staff at this point if you're Ryoma. You've got so much AP, but you still have to be able to get through that more. And what I wanted to talk about is the fact that if... Ooh, this is cute.
Flares, you've got to be careful. This is a Cupcake and Lost looking for it. They're going for it. There's the pillar. Flares incredibly low. No flash available for them, but they're still chasing him down. The pillar has such a short cooldown, and it burns Flare's flash nice and early. But can Sin capitalize now top side? They have teleport from their cannon. Do they use it?
Yeah, exactly right. Now he can just push. Ooh, Equalizer burnt.
Very smart play. FBI at half health, though. Tally looking to try and engage. Ryoma is on the backside of that one. So they kill the minion wave and burn redemption from Sin. Flares is bottom side, though, still pushing in waves. This is scary.
Exactly right. And you've got Ryoma mid lane. He's also doing the same thing. They just want to escort the super creeps into the base, look to clean up the last one, and then with that, hopefully take the Nexus. But split pushing comps, as soon as you get into the base, have to team fight. And that's where the game gets difficult. Sin
don't want this gauntlet run to go to waste. They want to pick up the victory here today. Legacy, their entire season's on the line, but Flares might be caught out. He's going in. He's been exhausted. Juice is on Lost, but Lost is a monster. He's going to live to tell a tale, and the jungler from Sin has been taken down for a double kill.
And one more time, they have to back out of the base because there's just absolutely no way to deal with Lost right now. He's getting towards 6 items. He's going towards his Infinity Edge. And without a tank, it is just so hard.
It almost feels like Sin's last hope is to play around Baron. Get Flare's bottom lane and try and take Baron from Legacy again.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what you have to do. You have to get the split pusher bottom lane. You have to make sure that he's knocking on those inhibitors and threatening the Nexus with just Tally there to defend. Because they can't do it. They can't just leave Tally down there with him because he will kill Tally at this stage of the game.
And the timing couldn't be worse for Sin as well because bot lane inhibitor just respawned. If Flares is playing a little bit back, that might be the inhibitor going down while they see its top lane, but that's out the window now.
Yeah, exactly right. And you can see that they're keeping 2 members over there. It's actually a Zeke's Harbinger picked up. Haven't seen that item in so damn long.
What? Okay.
I mean, it adds that crit that he's missing from the build. He's only got himself 1 zeal item. Not going to have 2 as the game progresses.
I'd like it if he had a Night Spout as well. He's got Heart and Sense. I just don't... Cupcake's a weird man. Yes. But he does something right.
But all of a sudden, you know, bottom lane is going to be shoved in now. You have to also think that they're going to go back top lane.
I mean, Baron's so quick for Sin, though. You've got Blade of the Ruin King FBI, Ryoma with 5 items and a Kha'Zix. Flares is going to sit bottom lane. He's at 6 items. Wit's End was the final one. And if you're Legacy, what do? Your AD carry and your mid lane are back at base. Baron's up.
I mean, I wonder if there's ever a world where the Kennen sells all of his items.
It just goes ability
power. Just goes AP. How much gold do you need to make that work?
Did you want team fights Legacy? I've got you. He's only got 800 in his back pocket, though. Probably going to spend them all on his
Sin need to really push that top lane wave. It's a little bit too big for my liking right now for them to even give this a shot.
That's a teleport in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they see 2 people bot.
This is big. Carbon's got to try and do the impossible, but look at his health. Oh, Ryoma! He's dead! Can't get the Chaos Storm off either, and the Equalizer goes through. Can Sin do it? There goes Flares onto Carbon, taking so much damage. Tally is melting Flares. Juice will pick up the Baron, but at what cost? Because everyone's flashing out, and that's 2 big kills for Legacy.
It certainly is, and one of them is onto the split pusher. Top lane is so huge. And with 2 members dead for 40 seconds.
This could be game.
This could be game.
They have to try and put up a defense here. Cupcake is so tanky with those shields. No minions to help out Sin. Lost! He's going in! He wants it! He wants this game! Lost says that Legacy cannot lose today! He's taken down the AD carry! Legacy, they're gonna try and stop the Cinderella story right in its tracks! They're pushing for the Nexus!
Yeah, 10 seconds. Juves has been tagged up. He might fall down.
Ryma's coming up. Who's got in the back lines? It's gonna be Rogue looking to try and hold up the minion wave! Rogue! He's stopping Legacy with pushing in! Ryma's up in 3 seconds! Ghost and Flash are available! The the victor is going to try and start his glorious evolution, and now it's better than ever because they're going in. Cupcake's on top of him. Exhaust has gone down, but Nexus turret's gone. Shockwave on Ryoma. He is still going to pick up kills. The Nexus, it's so low. They get it. Legacy have done it. They're going into the grand finals against the Direwolves.
And I cannot believe it. Finally, the Sin hype train is over, and Legacy, behind that man on your screen, are going once again to an OPL final, but this time against the Direwolves.
My goodness. What a comeback from Legacy. It looked like they had their backs against the walls again. No Nexus turrets up for 2 games that they've won here today. And Juice tried to do absolutely everything. Stole a Baron, secured that last one, but his teammates just fell around him in a 3-on-5.
And by the way, Matt Bowen, our producer, please throw out everyone's votes and just give the MVP to Lost. Like, that last team fight was bloody insane. Absolute, like, just dashing into the AD carry and just popping him. That was awesome.
And it shows why he's such a powerful player on Lucian there. Braum Lucian, big combo for Cupcake and Lost, and they put the team on the back. Legacy pick up a Game 5 victory after their backs were against the wall. 2 games losing all the Nexus turrets, but they still get the victory, and they'll be going up against the Direwolves this Sunday. But for now, to break down that entire series and the Gauntlet run, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
All right, I don't know. Incredible. Incredible. My goodness. Let's get all these guys in here. What is going on? Congratulations to Legacy first and foremost. I mean, that was an incredible series to go and reverse sweep it. And look, they're going to shake the hands of Sin. And you've got to feel for Sin, who made their way through 2 rounds of this gauntlet. And just, I mean, it's heartbreak for them. Yeah. But they would be so proud and happy to be this far in.
I think Ryoma's face wasn't proud and happy there. That's just heartbreak. Honestly, like, yeah, they had such a good run through the gauntlet, and to lose after going 2-0 in the series and then to get reverse swept, that's really rough.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Jesh, do you have any sports psychology for these guys at that moment?
I mean, like, obviously no one, like, he's going to walk out of that room being like, oh, yeah, like, we had a good season.
Yeah.
But, like, it's something you can reflect on. I think Bensel had a very, like, astute tweet on it. It was like, you know, like, we may win or lose tonight, but like the effort they put in over the split.
And 15 games in 3 days.
Yeah, and then they've changed mid laners in the last like few weeks or whatever. They've really have like pulled it together and made like such a stellar run. So like win or lose, they actually have done themselves very proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these guys you really need to look out for split too. And I mean, I mentioned it was going to be kicking and screaming coming into the last games there. They definitely did it for Legacy. Legacy ended up coming out victorious, and yeah, it was incredible. An incredible finish.
So, is there anyone in particular, like Spawn said, is it just Lost? I mean, did Lost just win them that series, just them in that last team fight?
Not just Lost. I think Legacy's bot lane in the last couple of games really stepped it up. They just ended up blind picking a Trundle, like having the cojones to blind pick a Trundle. Mental fortitude to blind pick the Trundle. And then just like they win the lane. Like they did the same thing as they did the game before with the early gank, or they burn the flash and then...
Mate, it's a great argument for you to take back to Vault and be like, let me play
Trundle. No, and then he built the Ardent Sensor. So I'm not sure if they touched on it in the cast, but you proc the new Bond of Stone with the Ardent Sensor, and then he built Zeke's Herald as well. So they put a lot of eggs in Lost's basket, and then in the last team fight, you saw what it meant.
Absolutely.
Like, to be in Game 5 after like that sort of series, to be so close and to just like flash in like that, like that's, I don't know, that's impressive.
Yeah, speechless. Like, it's huge.
You know what it comes down to? Confidence. That was just confidence at the very end there. When they finally showed it, you can see they get the win.
All right. Well, we will be back with some more analysis, but right now, Spawn is standing by with the Vice Captain and top laner for Legacy. Tallies, let's throw it over to them right now for the interview. Thanks so much, Hingers. I am standing next to the victorious Tally after probably one of the greatest 5-game series OSHA's ever seen. First off, congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me about the first 2 games, because that was not looking pretty. What was going through your mind?
Well, going in, we were like, okay, Sin are going to play really quick on us, and like we need to be able to either match them or like trade with them, and we just blundered. And like we went back to the room, we talked about it, we're like, okay, we just need to change it up, and we did, and we bounced back in Game 3.
All right, so Game 3. Carbon is huge on the reverse sweeps. He talks about them all the time and how practiced he is. Was it him that rallied the troops? Was it Lucio? I mean, what was the message going into that game 3, and who was the person that delivered it?
Yeah, it definitely was Tim. After game 3, we started huddling every game. When he gave us a speech, gave us "Your others up," and all the blood was flowing. And I was like, all right, let's do this.
All right, cool. And I heard him coming out of the room with a big, "We are not going to lose this series," or abbreviated version of it with a couple of more profanities. That really seemed to kick into your bottom lane because Lost and Cupcake, the two brand new players onto the Legacy lineup, were absolutely on fire.
Yeah, I got to give it to them. Like, you blind pick Trundle and they pick Lucian, which is a pretty crappy lane. And they just managed to pull it through, and it was really huge in team fights.
All right, now you're going up against Direwolves for the first time. You're not going to have to fight Chiefs in the finals. You've got a week to prepare for that.
Yep.
What does the next week look like, and what do you think the odds are going up against the Direwolves squad?
Well, to be fair, I think beating Direwolves will be easier than us beating Sin, because Sin is like a wild card for us. We don't really know what they're going to do. But Direwolves, they have more of a structured play. So we do know, and we have practiced for them for a very long time, so I'm pretty confident.
All right, cool. And before I let you go, have you got anything to say to your fans out there?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone who supported us today. Everyone was cheering for us back home. We really appreciate it, especially all the boys as well. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for the best of 5 series. That was an absolute cracker. However, let's throw it back to the guys at the desk to close out the night.
Congratulations to Tally there and to the rest of Legacy. And gentlemen, he's obviously feeling a lot of feelings right now going through to next week. Legacy will be playing Direwolves. But for a moment, let us just focus on this game we just saw. Game 5 of an incredible best of 5 series. And I want to talk about this draft. Mendrix, let me start with you. Outside of that Trundle pick, which we saw in the last 2 games, what else is inspiring in this draft?
5 games of Lee Sin. Carbon just took it home the entire time. I said they should have banned it. I mean, it came through. It was big as well in that initial first play because it ended up forcing the flash early. And then afterwards, he came back again, and then they were able to get the kill immediately, which just sort of put their bot lane straight into a good early learning phase.
Meanwhile, we're talking about junglers. Jish, I mean, let's talk about Jubes' Kha'Zix, because you were saying, look, why does he keep picking it? Rengar's still up, right?
Yeah, he sort of broke my heart. Jubes and I had a little chat about just playing Moby Rush Elise before the series, and just playing for your lanes. And I think Kha'Zix is almost the opposite of that. Kha'Zix wants to farm really hard to get to his evolved spikes. He wants to be greedy, and then he wants to sort of try solo carry and stuff towards the late game. And that's really not Jubes' playstyle. We saw it in his damage dealt. He was doing I think 11 to 12% sort of thing. And on an assassin, he's not pulling his share of the weight. I think he played a really good series. His Baron still his Baron still was really good, right? I just think that probably not his best trump card to pull out.
Absolutely, yeah, fair. And so, commiserations to him. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, EJ, talk to me about Trundle, because we spoke about it a bit in that last game, but how does it go into this in bot lane?
I mean, it kind of just works the same into the current meta. The reason it isn't played around the world is because it's good into tanks. It can bully around the Alistars, the Leona, the whatever, Taric. But into the majors, so he played it into Malzahar last game, into the Nami this game. In the strict 2v2, it would just straight up lose. Trundle would just get pushed in, double ranged into a melee, would just get roasted. But Legacy did a really good job of playing to their strengths in the draft phase, which I think is something a lot of teams in Oceania actually, including us, we just mess that up all the time. You pick a comp and then decide, I'm going to go top instead of going bot. But no, they burned the flashes early and they really ganked for the Trundle, and it really worked out for them.
All right, let's transition out of draft and into the game. And you mentioned it before, Jish, but the Baron steal from Jubes. I mean, it's not just Jubes though. It's also the giant wave. Mendrix, talk us through what's happening here.
Just too much really with this coming here. So this is Legacy forcing Sin to make a play. At the moment, Legacy are in control. Blaze is doing everything he can to move around the map, create that pressure that goes in place there. And then there's this fantastic tidal wave that comes through that sort of just stops everything in its tracks. And it gives time for Jukes to get in there and get that steal off the back of it. And out of the blue, they managed to pick Carbon off as well. And then from there, it seems to be they're going to win the game. That's what it felt like at that moment in time. I thought, wow, Sin have done this. That was my feeling at that point in time, but the mental fortitude just coming through.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it earlier in relation to how their comps interact. Sin went for the 1-4, and as soon as they got the Baron, I think that was actually a massive swing. And I think from the point where the Kennen just has the Baron to split push with, honestly, I think they should have won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's basically misexecution. honestly, we were discussing upstairs how do they manage to steal that Baron with them. It's like Juves jumped in at 2.3k or something.
Yeah.
How does he not die before he gets
Yeah,
a
like
start up
who's
there?
still hitting Baron at that
Yeah.
point? But yeah, no, he did
Like,
get
no, we don't. Juice's Kha'Zix doesn't do any damage. We're fine.
yeah, I mean, his smite button did a bit of damage, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But yeah, it makes no sense, I guess, that once like you sort of get gifted maybe the series on the platter, like all your win conditions are starting to be met, you can tick them off. You need to get Kennen back in that side lane.
Yeah.
That they sort of fell short at like the final hurdle. Like they credit to Legacy, I guess, like the ingenuity to send their bot lane to try like
Yeah.
2v1 sort of thing. But I think like that's when you really need to have like experience on your side, and you're like, all right, just calm down, wait 30 seconds, we'll see where on the map, then move in as a team and sort of like try crush them. Whereas Flares went by himself, his top side wasn't there to save him or anything. So yeah, they sort of just handed the baton back to Legacy.
I do want to talk about the Kennen split push and experience and team fight. So let's bring up this second replay. Ejim, I wanted to go to you with this because this is a decision that is not being made correctly, right? It is Kennen split pushing in the bot while this team fight is just being kept in top lane.
Yeah, I think, as you can see, Sin still have Baron, and Kennen, the players are covering the map right now, but he's just shoving in the mid lane, and Legacy just feel like they have to force the fight, and then like they overchase here, and then, oh, okay, I've completely ruined this one. Actually, this is where Legacy going in, Lost is popping off, and this
This is while Kennen is like destroying their base metrics.
That's right. So basically, Sin are forcing Legacy to remain in the fight. I think at that point in time, Legacy want to back away, get out of the situation and get back to defending their base. And because of that, because they can't, even though they give up 4 members, you lose the whole bot side of your base. You also lose the towers as well. So just so much was just given away at that point in time. And it still felt like, well, yeah, it's absolutely fine for Sin. They're still in control.
Yeah, this is the Kennen 1v5 potential, right?
Exactly,
I mean,
yes.
Just open up that nexus. And then still, like you're saying, Jish, the win conditions are being met, but Legacy able to pull through in that Game 5 of a best-of-5 series and break it back. So to them, what in particular do you want to shout out with Legacy in terms of their like mental fortitude?
Yeah, I think definitely trying to keep a level head in like that high pressure Game 5. We sort of discussed ease of execution on comps. So I think playing like a team fight centric comp where you're looking for like the massive Ori shockwave or the huge Rumble ulti, I feel like that's that's like a much easier win condition than playing like a very slow methodical 1-3-1 or 1-4 style that Sin tried to go for. And maybe if Sin elected to play like this easier style, like the outcome changes. But yeah, I think that Legacy sort of just understood their win condition pretty well, and I guess obviously they came out ahead.
All right, well, Ejim, we've spoken about it a couple of games now, but I do want to talk again about this Trundle in this Trundle support because I know you've said it before, you're a fan. But let's take a look at some of the stats from. My goodness! First of all, what's the best Trundle skin?
Trundle skin, Little Slugger.
Little Slugger,
and
absolutely.
he's done a very poor job of picking the Little Slugger Trundle skin.
What are you doing, Cupcake? But talk to me about Game 5, because we talked about Game 1. Sorry, Game 4, I should say. But Game 5, how is Trundle popping off?
I mean, those KDAs just look really nice, to be honest. I think it just... I don't know, Legacy just play with it so well. Like I think Cupcake does a really good job on Trundle of holding his pillar for the perfect time. I think they play really well about like baiting them into a fight and then re-engaging with the pillar, and then Lost gets to dash forward and play like that.
Yeah, it's kind of... Sorry.
That's okay. Another thing that the casters actually sing the praise of that he was able to do was actually hold his flashes and his summoners as well to really burn the most out of his enemy opponents. And so they would try to catch on to him. He'd still get out of it, and they'd be using all their resources.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's playing like pseudo Janna Trundle, where he's like disengaging and like protecting his AD carry, as opposed to going for like those really aggressive like backline plays or anything. And it obviously like Lost really popped off towards the end, so like it paid off really well for them.
All right. Well, now Legacy go on next week to face the Direwolves, but I do want to spend a bit of time talking about Sin because they have absolutely had a run in the last couple of days that no one would have expected. They beat AV, they beat you guys, the Chiefs, obviously, your former team as well, Jesh, and now they've taken Legacy to Game 5 in his series. So, Mendrix, you were saying that before, I mean, looking forward to Split 2 for them. I mean, what are they looking forward to?
Well, really, when you look at it, no one really thought they would be able to beat the Chiefs. No offense, they're coming through. But the big thing about it is that these guys now really are contenders. They've got some sort of X factor that these teams need to look out for. They need to pinpoint if they're really going to be able to deal with it. And Tally even mentioned it in the interview. He said they're just so wild, so volatile. You know, it's something you can't really plan for. So that's a really big advantage that they have. And if they just really hone in on that particular advantage, they're going to be great looking into Split 2. I think they can be proud with what they achieved today.
Do we see, I mean, traditionally, you know, it's the top 3 is, you know, Legacy Chiefs, Direwolves. Do we see now the evolving of a top 4? I mean, are we willing to go that far? EJ,
If we want to throw it back to my old tweet where I said 1, 2, 3 irrelevant, and I think I think since that point twice I've just been absolutely roasted by Sin. So I don't know. I think a week ago, if you'd asked any player in the OPL or like anyone that keeps up with the OPL, if Sin were going to make it like this far into the gauntlet, I think you would have said no. So I think they've just done a really good job of like picking their style and just sticking to it, and they just stuck to their guns and they pulled it out. Yeah,
not to sort of sit on the fence. I think that you'll probably find a lot of the mid sort of tier teams are going to have like little shuffles, either staff or players.
Sure.
I think if Sin can like keep their core together, like they obviously they've shown a lot of promise. So I think depending on what happens around them, I think that maybe there is a potential top 4 team there.
All right, well, let's take a look at this gauntlet graphic because next week, Sunday, 5 p.m., Legacy are going to be taking on Direwolves here for the OPL final. And, I mean, at the start of the split, no one, I think, would have guessed that Legacy v Direwolves would be the final, especially given that Legacy themselves thought that this was a year of rebuilding for them. A bunch of rookies, but they've made it all the way to be, at worst, the second-place team in the OPL metrics.
Yeah, absolutely right. And it really does, you know, look at their rookie team or their rookie bot lane that they've put together. They said everything was sort of lined up for them. They managed to pick up Lost. Cupcake came through for them as well. And all of a sudden, these guys are back in the final. So a really good showing for a rebuilding year.
My goodness. So I don't know if you guys are going to be with us next week. Jish, you may be, you know, taken back to Trump's America. I don't know. So let us give me your thoughts on the predictions for Legacy v Direwolves next week.
Okay, so I think that what we saw Sin abuse pretty well game 1 and 2 in the side wave and the wave manipulation in general. I think I've sort of seen Direwolves have the best grasp of that over the entire season. I think that, you know, if they're honing in on that, obviously Legacy have a week to play around and fix that a bit, but I think that Direwolves definitely come with the advantage, probably 3-1, maybe 3-2. 3-1
Direwolves, maybe 3-2. Ejim, do you want to give us a preview?
I think I've sat in this chair and I've openly flamed Shernfire, but I think if Carbon chooses to keep playing Locket Redemption, Lee Sin into Shernfire, I think Shern's going to laugh at him and take all his jungle.
Yeah.
I think 3-1 Direwolves.
All right. Well, oh, my goodness. Well, we will be back very, very soon with our post-match lobby. So I would like to thank Ejim and Jish for joining us here. But do not go anywhere because we'll be back with Carbon and Soul Strikes right here at the desk in about a 3-minute break. So let's watch some highlights. Thank you guys for being here.
Flash early from Carbon. FBI gets tagged up and exhausted. They're trying to use the heal, trying to get it back, but no, Cupcake gets first blood. Oriana is coming, Claire's going in. He wants to get it nice and early, gets the stun. Flash in from Juice. Good Zonias. Claire looking for an ultimate. Will Tally get out alive? He does. Shockwave comes out into the equalizer. Juice is low, tries to stand and deliver, but even Carbon's down here and nails Flares. Will get a shield as well. Big play from Legacy.
And teleport coming in out of Tally. They want to fight.
But they turn. They go for Cupcake first. Flares is in. Lost is meant to dash out, but they're going on top of the Lucian. Equalizing in a great squad. They're looking for a Shockwave. FBI back against the wall. Not enough. He gets taken down. Juves is looking to assassinate anyone he can get his hands on. Shockwave gets cancelled. 3-on-2 in the pit. Carbon with the kick. Gets 1 kill. Tally's dead. Only the captain left alive. Ryoma, can he get another quadra? It doesn't matter. Sin, they get an ace. Ooh. Carbon, big kick. Knocks Flare sideways though. Not the way he wanted it to go. And the culling going to hit the tip. Carbon stunned up as well by the arrow to add insult to injury. That might be bottom lane turret falling. Flares skirting with Deja.
Shockwave
Hits 2. They're dead. Sin lose their mid lane player. Do Sin get position they want? Rogue looking for a tidal wave. It's out. Teleports in. Big Chaos Storm coming out there. Everyone from Legacy taking so much damage. But Juves looking for the smite. He gets it. Sin steal the Baron. Juves gets out alive. And Carbon is dead as well. Lost is on top of him. Ryoma gets shut down by Tally. Carbon is in trouble. Shockwave flashed by FBI. Is there going to be a cannon coming in? No, he's not. He's in the base. He just took down 1 inhibitor all by himself. And Claire's caught. Do they go for it? Juves is jumping in, but Flares wants to end the game. Juves is being taken down. Is Lost going to dash forward? FBI's in trouble. Tries to take him on, but he can't. And now it's going to be Rogue that gets taken down as well. The base is being battered by this cannon. He's killed Tally. What the heck is going on? The victor Hunter is going to try and start his glorious evolution, and now it's better than ever because they're going in. Cupcake's on top of him. Exhaust has gone down, but Nexus turret's gone. Shockwave on Ryoba. He is still going to pick up kills. The Nexus, it's so low. They get it. Legacy have done it. They're going into the grand finals against the Direwolves.